Right, it's Friday, December 15th. This is an end of the day and end of the week SPY recap. And today on the daily chart, we end up with a two down day. Not a very powerful red bar. Closed a bit of a doji look, but it was below the midpoint of the prior day all day and kind of near the low end of the pre-market range, which is between the blue lines. So there was a downward bias. It didn't follow through all that much. We'll see what that means going forward. It gives us some reference points. We knew we were a bit of exhaustion risk as we continue to move up day after day after day. Yesterday was kind of a neutral day, and today we started lower, obviously, the bottom of the range, the bottom of the pre-market range, but immediately kind of moved up a little bit on bar 3 and 4. So at that point, in order for this to be a failure day to the upside, you were going to have to really take out yesterday's low and get through the midpoint of the prior day, which was all the way kind of near, up here, way up here, actually near the pre-market highs and, near that big drop. So once you started grinding up here, staying below the midpoint of the prior day, there was an opportunity. I shot a video to buy some puts in here and see if you would, kind of roll over on a green to red move. And that's what happened. Once it came down and took out the lows of the day, I shot how you just watched a 15-minute chart to see what would unfold, where we're going to head a lot lower, possibly, into this gap and get a big red day to end of the week or not. Watch price action. For 1, 2, 3 bars, it looked pretty good, like we might get continuation lower. And then on this fourth bar, the big green bar there, it just sort of closed pretty strongly green. So it showed we weren't really breaking through that low and continuing, and just held there for a while. Had just a typical Friday action with options expire, had a big move up just to take out stops, and then came right back down again, to close kind of down here. So we end up with a bit of a, like I said, a neutral looking red bar. So if we start up on Monday above the midpoint of the prior, of today and head higher above the pre-market range, that could be an actionable signal to the upside. I would watch this on this weekly chart, the midpoint of this tail very closely up here. Should we get, and that sort of aligns back up to, this level right here. So if we get some kind of buy above the high on Monday, I would really want to see it follow through strongly above it. It might just take out that level and then fail, because that was, big selling came in up here and to end the week. And I'd want to see on any up move if we can take that out and immediately continue the week higher. We've had a lot of green weeks in a row to the upside, so I'm not convinced we're going to keep going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks up. And if we head up, this could be a good, if we don't reach that target, it could be a good failure signal either on Monday or, maybe a 2 up, 2 down onto Tuesday. It's possible we start lower. If we start lower, I would watch the midpoint of this weekly bar, right? So if we come down, let's see how much follow through we get. I could see us filling this gap. This purple line is the midpoint of last week. We'd really want to get below there to kind of have this week possibly have a 2 down week if we're going to get a big pullback. I still think the overall trend's up. That hasn't changed, but we are due for a little bit of consolidation along the way. So we kind of got to judge these reference points, midpoint of the prior week and this midpoint of this selling tail up here. So it's almost between this blue line and this purple line. I really want to see how daily price action unfolds into next week relative to how it treats this bar. And then at that point, we'll know the open of the, on Monday, we'll know the open of the week. We'll have another reference point and we'll see what actionable signals might be developing. It's definitely an actionable signal to the buy side. So we'll see if that unfolds on Monday. But, again, given the selling up here, I want to see if that really continues or fails. And that could be a good sign of maybe a deeper pullback. And if we start lower, I want to see how much selling comes in before we possibly resume the uptrend, which I'm still, I still prefer actually a bit of a pullback that then starts up again, just knowing on the monthly chart, we're still working up towards these highs either in December or into 2024. So those are the things to look at. But today was, just a minor day. If you're just going to go by the midpoint of the prior day, which is one of my main reference points, the only thing you can really consider was a sell type of trade. And to me, it looked like it was unfolding kind of in here with the, when it really couldn't make any kind of significant, sustained, strong move up to the halfway point of the prior day once it started out down here and started higher after the open. So it did roll over, take out those lows, but didn't follow through. So we'll see where all these things start unfolding into next week. This is just at the moment, though, it's just a minor pullback, in a big uptrend. And again, ideally, the better trades are going to be to the upside, but we'll just have to see how those unfold if and when they unfold.